Mystery of the Titanic. As we know, more than 1,500 of the 2,240 passengers and personnel on board died in the accident. The Titanic's tragedy has inspired innumerable books, articles, and films. Notably, the 1997 Titanic film starring Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio. And the ship's story has entered the public consciousness as a cautionary tale about the dangers of human hubris. However, some mysteries are still mysterious. So, in this video we are showing some of the main mysteries of the Titanic. Was it even the Titanic? Everyone believes that a luxury ship set sail on April 10th, 1912 and sank 5 days later, killing about 1,500 people on board. But that's about where the unanimity stops. Some argue that the ship that went down was not the Titanic, but the almost similar RMS Olympics. According to legend, the Olympic had been damaged in an accident the previous year, but in order to receive a larger insurance payout, the Olympic's common owners renamed it the Titanic and then deliberately sunk it. While there are several flaws in this Titanic scenario, serial numbers discovered on pieces of the ship that did not sink provide credibility to it. Did a fire actually seal the ship's fate? A recent video provides compelling evidence that the Titanic, for the purpose of argument, just call it that, was destroyed by a coal fire that had been burning for 3 weeks before the ship ever took sail. The damage would have weakened the ship's hull, hastening its sinking when it struck with an iceberg. Why was the captain speeding? For decades, many assumed Captain Smith was hurrying through the iceberg-filled waters of the North Atlantic in order for the Titanic to traverse the Atlantic faster than her sister ship, the Olympic. However, in 2004, the Geological Society of America issued an academic study by engineer Robert H. Essenhigh proposed a different theory. The true reason the Titanic's captain was speeding was to burn coal as soon as possible in order to manage the coal fire that we just previously mentioned. What caused the ship to break into 2 pieces? On September 1st, 1985, oceanographer Robert Ballard found the debris 2.5 miles beneath the ocean's surface, coupled with the startling revelation that the ship had split in 2 before sinking. Previously, everyone assumed that the ship perished intact after hitting an iceberg while racing dangerously through freezing waters near Newfoundland shore. Ballard's findings spawned a new theory, the ship's breaking into 2 sections, which may have been the difference between life and death, was caused by design defects and a lack of quality materials on the part of the owners and/or builders. Did a torpedo sink the Titanic? Most people think the Titanic sank after colliding with an iceberg on April 14, 1912, regardless of other contributing factors. However, not everyone seems to believe so. Some believe a German U-boat torpedoed the Titanic. This argument doesn't seem so far-fetched when you remember that 3 years later, in 1915, a German U-boat did destroy the Lusitania. Torpedo theories may, however, be mixing the Titanic with the Lusitania. It's also conceivable that they're mistaking the Titanic with the Olympic, which was damaged after colliding with a military vessel in 1911. Nonetheless, the presence of numerous other ships near the Titanic's demise raises the question, was there even an iceberg? Assuming the Titanic did not crash with or be torpedoed by another ship, it's reasonable to assume it struck an iceberg, right? No, not always. Captain L.M. Collins, a professional mariner, believes that if the Titanic had encountered an iceberg, it would have sunk in minutes. Instead, Collins and his supporters think the Titanic collided with a concealed floe of pack ice, multi-year-old sheets of ice floating near the ocean surface, that had found its way into the Atlantic from the Arctic. Collins brings out inconsistencies in eyewitness testimony, which may be attributable to natural visual illusions. Wouldn't it be nice if the crew had binoculars? Why didn't the crew have binoculars? If the crew had binoculars, they would have recognized the danger and changed direction in time. However, the Titanic's entire stock of binoculars was hidden in a storage box, and the key was in the possession of a crew member who had been moved off the ship just before it set sail. Later, the crew member claimed he forgot to hand over the key. Did he, however, forget? Or did he keep it on purpose? And, if so, was it to advance the aforementioned insurance fraud? Or was it something totally different? If there was a warning, why didn't anyone take it seriously? Even without binoculars, the Titanic could have been able to adjust course before colliding if the crew had been informed. But here's the thing, the team was warned. A nearby ship, the SS Californian, had radioed that it had been stopped by thick field ice 1 hour before the incident. However, the warning was never sent to Captain Smith by the Titanic's radio operator, Jack Phillips. Some think the message was intended to be non-urgent, but we'll never know for sure because Phillips perished with the ship. Did the Californian have something to do with it? This cruise liner was just around 20 kilometers from where the Titanic went down. It issued a warning about the severely cold conditions to the Titanic, which may have been misinterpreted as a non-urgent matter. Later, the Californian crew was said to have disregarded the Titanic's distress messages, claiming they were unaware of them because their radio operator had gone off duty. Did the Californian really miss what was going on right in front of his eyes? The third ship. The Californian was not the only ship that disregarded the Titanic's distress signals. The Samson, a Norwegian ship, may have been nearby as well. In fact, some believe the Samson was closer to the Titanic than the Californian, but disregarded her distress cries to escape penalty for illegal seal hunting. This is a common hypothesis among supporters of the Californian's captain, although its veracity is unknown. Did JP Morgan plan the whole thing? Some blame banker JP Morgan, who controlled the firm that owned both ships, for the Titanic's replacement of the damaged Olympic. Morgan was one of the wealthiest and most powerful persons on the globe at the time. Furthermore, he was a no-show on the Titanic's sole trip. Why didn't Morgan and his family end up aboard the ship? Did he have any idea what was going to happen? Was it his idea? Was it a murder plot? Some think the sinking was not motivated by insurance money, but rather by JP Morgan's desire to eliminate his competitors. Jacob Astor, Isidor Strauss, and Benjamin Guggenheim, all of whom died on board. But how did Morgan want to do this? Neither the insurance hypothesis nor the murder theory considers this. What else would Morgan have needed to do to secure the success of his plan? Finally, why weren't there enough lifeboats? Regardless of what caused the Titanic to sink, such a catastrophic loss of life could have probably been prevented if the ship had carried enough lifeboats for her passengers and crew. History.com writes, so why did the uber-luxurious liner only have 20 lifeboats, the required minimum? Why did the ship's owners choose to disregard suggestions to carry 50% extra lifeboats? How can the fatal shortage of lifeboats be explained if the sinking was merely an insurance scam? This appears to be more in line with a murder plan. However, it is possible that the ship's owners were simply trying to save money. So that's the end of the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the notification bell so you never miss out on our next videos. Until the next video, take care.